I am falling down a fun little rabbit hole of Spelljammer ships of old, and some of them are really fun. Some of them are kind of insane.
Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of old D&D material. Oh, I should get Kitlack his new model up and going.
Oh, I could promote you, but you're not in the game yet.
Yeah, it takes a while to get me in.
Halflings once built a swan ship. That's terrifying. Who would ever put swans in space?
I guess less terrifying than a goose ship.
What is a swan if not a goose relative?
Well, the swan is a snake duck, right?
Swans can be terrifying if you get near their nests.
Yep.
I actually kind of like geese. I mean, if they come at you, all you got to do is grab them around the neck and throw them. Like that's how you handle a goose.
I have a friend who she hates all geese like indiscriminately, but at one of the local parks here, there was a couple of geese that every time they never came at anybody. They never attacked anybody. They were the sweetest things. Do you remember the two geese in Aristocrats or Aristocats? Sorry.
No.
Okay, you got to go look at the Aristocats, the Disney movie Aristocats, and look up the two geese in there, because these geese reminded me of those two geese.
Yeah, the ones that kind of were like two old English biddies.
Yes.
All right, Tyler, you're promoted, so you can get your new figurine in. Otherwise, I believe we're testing Malkill or Godwin tonight. Uh, whatchamacallit.
Is
Oh,
streaming.
Yes.
I just assumed that we would do that after the game.
Yeah, I'm currently streaming.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
Let me know
live.
when you're ready. Okay. In that case, welcome back everyone to the Light Pneumatic, or not the Light Pneumatic, the Lava Crows. My brain's intact, certainly. Where we last
That's
left
true.
off, there was a bit of an attack by the Astral Elves that assumed they were immortal, only to find out that they were wearing bombs on their head. Um, which I believe it was Shay who set off the first one, and Cassie got a lucky shot on a second, and set off some chain reactions that did a lot of damage to the warport, but gave enough of a cover and an excuse for the group to escape find their way to the primary spell jamming tower, where Shay's ship was being kept. Speak with uh, the matron of the house, since the mistress wasn't available, and was able to buy back their ship. I believe now they are exploring to find it. Oh yes, and Kitlak's motorcycle blew up.
It wasn't really his motorcycle. He just, you know,
Really wanted it, but it managed to retain a couple pieces out of it. One which provided some directions through semi-possession. It's not quite clear what's going on with that. Uh, but he stuck it in his bag of holding, so hopefully there's no further influence, right?
Are we being led by the matron, or did she give us directions, or
She's assuming you know where to go. And you do kind of know where to go. You're assuming your ship is in one of the repairs. I mean, your ship wasn't huge; it was decent sized. Yeah. So, you want to try and find it, or
yeah, does she know where to go, or can she sense this ship?
yeah. Do you have the spell jamming helmet on you or not?
I mean, she's not wearing it, but she does have it.
Okay. Um, you could use it as a focus and roll your Arcana with advantage.
I don't suppose Genevieve could provide some assistance as well, using it like a survival check to give advantage.
Already have advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's 17.
Um, there are many floors above. You went quite a few to reach harbor the miss uh the harbor master's office, which is basically what you were. But the tower continues to go up. After that, you know you need to go up about 5 floors, and it's somewhere there. Also, I just realized I have the wrong map up, but that's okay. So yeah, you can just take the stairs, or you could try and find an elevator, but you haven't seen one yet. They must have one.
Yeah,
Like
she
there
will
was one
lead.
on the docking port you entered, the cargo dock. So they must have one somewhere, right?
Yeah, she will lead them up the stairs to the fifth floor.
Okay, so you all head up the stairs. There are again some drow, some warforged, Other races that don't look nearly as happy to be there, but they all seem to be in a state of work or moving about. You can hear some ship construction. You can hear some swearing in various languages. You can hear some whispers. Um, Kidlack, just make me a quick perception check as one of the few dark dwarves passes by you.
Oh, that is perception for Kitlak. That is a 16.
16. Yeah, he may have tried to pawn one of your guns, but decided not to at the last minute. You're not quite sure why.
Kitlak nods, like he knows to keep his head about him in places like this. Oh, by the way, John, there's going to be a pop-up in a second in Tabletop Simulator. I'm going to need you to. I sent you a link on Discord, and I'm going to need you to put that in the pop-up because I can't do it myself. Pop-up.
Under main?
Yeah, under main. And then import or whatever. Yep, that'll do it. Hell yeah, that looks really good.
All right. You do make it to that floor, otherwise unbothered, other than a number of side eyes. And it's almost like you can physically feel the call of your ship. It's been a long time for you, but you were practically born there. You were raised on it, and you are well attuned to it. Literally, you know you need to go to uh, Bay 4, and your
How,
ship will be there.
how long has it been for her?
Let's see. I think we settled on a few years at this point.
Okay. Bay 4 should be this way.
I assume you'd know where you're going better than any of us.
She is just going to walk forward confidently.
Kitlak will follow as well.
All
Yeah,
of the
course,
bays look out a little bit. They all have doors out into the asteroid, or if you're facing the other way, the stars. You are facing the asteroid. You get a lovely view from the tower of the Dragon Corpse and its lava lands. But that seems to be really the only source of light they bother with in this tower. Even in the halls, it's bright enough that they didn't need artificial lighting, and it's a place made of dark metals. Like they've tried to make it as dark as possible while just dealing with the natural radiance that seems to glow everywhere on this asteroid. Um, you see your ship, and it is almost like you remember it. You remember it having fins at one point, or maybe not, because the armor at the side was very thick. Yeah, it was very thick, and it looks repaired. That's good. There's a bunch of gears and a bunch of strange, you think, some sort of glass composite that's as strong as metal. Um, it is. It's darker than you remember. Is it darker? You know, that's almost like Drow black. Oh my God, they painted it Drow black, and
gross.
the sails have been dyed. They're imperial purple. Oh God, they didn't assume we were ever gonna pay this back. They were just preparing to make it a Drow ship. You may need some cosmetic work at some point.
She is simultaneously appalled and at the same time doesn't care. Because that's her ship. And she's going to go right up to it.
It is
Just kind of
slightly
noting.
dusty. It looks like you actually repaired a long time ago, and have just kind of left it, other than the cosmetics they've done.
That's fine. She's just kind of noting the differences that she spots walking up to it.
You see there is a ramp up to the top. You see they've left the wind in placements. You see the two masts. It looks a lot better than when you left it. Like the ram is intact. It's no longer looks like a broken nose from the Sphinx. It's a good looking ship, other than the aesthetics. It's good to see it whole again.
Are there any? Is there anyone like at the dock? Any drow around that are like guarding it, or is anyone barring our entrance into the ship?
There is a there is sort on the ramp. You see sort of it's kind of like a Spelljammer helmet, except it seems to be locked onto what's anchoring the ship. It's glowing purple and green, and that glow seems to go up the. I guess it would be a chain. Yeah, the chain that goes up, over, and under, around the entire ship, basically. So it is anchored in place. You see a couple drow around, sort of working on maintenance, but for the most part, your ship is done. It's just an archive ship. They have someone check on it, and that's it. They don't really. Theft is not a big problem here. Let's put it that way.
Is that glowing thing like a car boot kind of a thing?
Give me an investigation.
Genevieve's going to lean over to Kitlek and just say, "Are we going to be able to maneuver this ship with just 4 of us?"
20.
What does Kitlak know about the necessary crew for a vessel like this?
Let's see. I believe that Shay told you it was a flying fish ship. Flying fish ship tend to only need a crew of 10, but in all honesty, that's just if you wanted to get like a fully functional ship with cargo hauling and everything. I mean, once you have this jamming helmet, that is the pilot right there, and you need a couple people for the weapons. So, you really only need like 8 or 9 people total. Well, I guess that is a crew of 10, isn't it? Huh. Oh, that's a problem. But to fly it, you only need 1 technically. With a nat 20, you do see that there
Not
does
a
seem to be
nat 20, a
place,
dirty
or
20.
a dirty 20. Even so, with a dirty 20, the coin that the matron carved into does seem to uh, have a set of grooves that match a little slot where you could place the ingot. You're pretty sure if you place that in, that'll unlock the ship.
Okay. Is there anyone around it? Any drow? Important looking, not like someone that's doing maintenance or something like that.
There is a warforged. He seems to be standing by the exit, the bay window, harbor window. I'm not quite sure how to. Either way, watching the lava, he doesn't seem to. they don't seem to be doing anything other than watching outside. You're not sure why, but they're not doing any busy work of any sort.
How big is the ship? Like, how long is it? Is this the full here? Is that the full ship that you've got down, or is that it's just at the main deck? And I see
You
you've
are
got
looking at it.
5 square feet. Is that the whole ship there?
It is keel length is 130 feet, beam length is 135 feet.
Okay, so this isn't the whole ship then.
Yeah, the only thing that's missing is down below there were decks and you think labs or engineering bays at some point. You'd have to go in and inspect to see what's left at this point.
Okay, she's going to go up to the Warforge there.
Keelag is
Um,
going to tell Genevieve in the meantime, we may need to hire some crew to properly fly this thing, but we can at least get it out of dock.
The Warforged doesn't really acknowledge you other than a slight shift in their stance.
But she's gonna hold up the coin and say, I have come to reclaim my ship. It is fully paid off.
They're going to slide their eyes towards you ever so slightly. Their sigils are also burning the same red as all the other Warforged who have carved them or built them in. It's hard to tell. And just in tones, I don't care. Take your ship and go. You're ruining my view.
Okay. They don't care. She doesn't care. She's gonna go put the coin in the slot for the anchor thingy.
You feel a bit of a burn on your fingertips as you put it in, and then the glow just kind of snaps outward, and you hear the chain break and start sliding off the ship, just falling down. You kind of want to say look out below, but there is a floor down there, so you don't have to worry too much unless there's someone underneath the ship. There's probably no one underneath the ship, hopefully.
If there are any maintenance crews on the outside, she's gonna say, we're taking off soon, so is there anyone inside?
Nope, not that you can see. You'd have to again.
She's
go in
she's
and
asking.
check.
She's asking. Any of the maintenance crew.
Oh, the maintenance crew just kind of glance at you, and one of the drow says, "Yeah, no, we know the drill. Congratulations on being 1 in 100 that actually paid off."
Well, I certainly didn't
Then
do it
she
alone.
rolls her eyes and sets up some wiring that was set aside and starts carrying it out.
Okay. She's gonna head on inside. Let's go see
You go
what
up
they how they changed things in here.
You go up to the top to enter. You see the 2 ballistae. They're shined and ready to go. So is the catapult. You see the skylights, which you remember looking up and seeing the stars. That's always lovely at night. The thick sides to the ship that act as extra armor, and something else. Again, you have a vague memory of sort of fin-like wings at some point. Maybe those were removed. Maybe that was a different ship.
No, you don't need fins in space, so she's not too worried about it.
You can see the top deck is a little dusty, but otherwise fully repaired. You remembered there were no ballista last time. Hell, there was no ballista deck last time. That had been shorn off. You go down.
Yeah, she's gonna say to the group, hey, hang on, let me see. How long has it been since the fight? An hour?
Yeah, an hour, give or take.
We should check for any leftover maintenance crew or stowaways, just to be safe. This was we had named it the Quantum Zephyr before, but I feel at this point it probably needs a new name. And she's going to turn to the group at large and just say, "But really appreciate you all helping me out to get my ship back. It's not my ship anymore. Well, it never was, but it's definitely our ship. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do with it."
Let's call it the Lava Crows. The Lava Crow.
That's
The
We
lava
could-
crow.
We could recolor it.
Kitlak gets misty-eyed at the thought of it. Oh, she looks just like a lava crow. What a grand name.
Shay is going to start to object and then kind of shake her head and say, "Sure, why not? The Lava Crow."
That works for me. It's a good name.
I'm not sure why it's not showing up on top. Okay.
I think because it's not flat. So it's getting cut off. Yeah. There you go. There's something underneath it. There's a square underneath it.
Just air. Air is
That's the
Violet,
web-
can
underneath
you
it.
balance it?
Which one we looking at? Oh, the board here? That's weird.
The ship main deck, or the ship thing.
Yeah, let's see. Well,
There we go.
first of all, we gotta lock it like that, and then we gotta lock it like this. There you go. Then we can also finagle it like so.
Just an FYI, Zephyr, I having a difficult time reading the side view.
You can't read the side view, like literally. Basically, the two straight lines, those that are going up, those are the two masts. Top deck, main deck, cargo hold, cargo deck.
Got it.
And then you have a cargo door up top and the cargo door on bottom. The front is the ramp.
And the gravity plane.
Yes, the gravity plane is the dotted line. Basically, if you go to the cargo hold below, you'll be walking on the ceiling, and people above will be walking on the floor. Fun!
What a feeling to be walking on the ceiling.
Well, we can certainly help in routing out anybody who might still be on board.
Hey John,
Genevieve.
what's the name of this ship again? What type of ship is it?
According to Shay, she believes it's a flying fish ship.
All right.
Genevieve, you feel a bunch of what's the right term? Shivering isn't quite right. More like a bunch of vibrations of metallic fur right up against your neck.
Genevieve will reach up and pet her chinchilla.
Melody is looking at you and then looking around and then looking at you again.
Do you want to go clean?
That's all she needs. She's off and she is dusting this entire ship. The hull will be spotless.
Excellent.
Well, I'll try and
Alright.
try and help search around, but I've never really explored a spelljammer before, so
Well,
don't
time to
know.
get to know one.
really know where I'd be going. I might get lost.
Main deck is where the pilot's place is.
There is a list on the left that tells you where everything is. Hellman Bridge is number 7.
Yeah, so we explored together. I can't remember the last time I was on one of these. I literally can't remember the last time I was on one of these.
Worrying, but a problem for later, I'm sure. Kitlak is going to like kind of give it a once over. We're able to go inside, yes.
Oh yeah, no, the stairs are the stair doors are open. Stairs are open. You can go down at any time.
Yeah, Kitlak's going
Yeah,
to go
Shay's-
inside and just
Shay's
kind of
already
give it an
going in.
internal investigation to his satisfaction.
Okay, Shay, you go to Shay. Are you leading them?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shay, you go downstairs. You look around. The emergency lights are on. The emergency lights are purple. Oh God, they put in the drow color.
She just sighs, and that's for later.
For everyone going in, put yourselves in the room of where you're going.
Shay will head to. I guess we should go straight to the helm just to make sure that my pilot's helmet works and there's nothing too out of the ordinary going on. So she's gonna head to the helm.
First thing Kitlak is going to do is investigate the aft hold. He's going to go with the aft hold, the cubby, like basically everywhere that you could have a stowaway. He's going to attempt to search through.
Okay, make me an investigation check.
Okay, Kitlak
Mhm.
is going to add his guidance to that.
I was gonna do invincibility, but if you don't know if it's your own, I
That
cannot.
is a 21.
21. Are you going down below and seeing the other half of the deck too? Other half of the ship, or just above?
Yeah, he's down below at the start. Like he's thinking of like times he's stowed away and like where he would want to be if he's stowed away. And he's kind of like it's like that whole thing, you only check behind the door if you've hid there before. It's like that with Kid. Like he's looking at places that he would go.
All right, with a 21, you are very thorough. You are investigating around. You are looking for any hint at some. What kind of ships have you been on? Just one, Kitlak, or a couple?
He's been on a couple. I mean, like they've boarded ships for sure. Like they were smugglers primarily, but like space piracy was not unknown to them at all. So they boarded ships and like he's taken tours of other ships and like they've docked with other ships to trade or have like, gambling or basic party pirate time. Uh, and like he's definitely been on the gift ship too. Like he's been around a few ships.
Okay.
Are those all spelljammers?
Yeah, no nautical ships.
The Drow have definitely shifted the aesthetic so that it fits more with their alignment. Although, as you're moving about rather comfortably, you realize that anyone probably over 5 feet would have to duck down to move around. So this might have been preparing for like a punishment or for captured dwarves or something, because this is not a ship for tall people. Um, as a result, you don't really find any tall person. It would be very difficult for them to hide. There is no cargo down here. In fact, there is nothing down here. They have stripped it bare. There are some gears. Um, there are some parts of the cargo areas that seem to have been temporarily walled off or given some walls, but everything within those walls has been torn out. So if there were labs or engineering or something down here, no, they stripped it down to cargo deck with some walls to isolate, maybe jail cell, who knows. There is nothing down here. Wait, what's that noise? What's that noise? Oh, it's Melody on your shoes again. Damn it! But also roll me just a quick insight.
1 sec. Adding some guidance to that as well. That is 19 insight.
You have been on many Spelljammer ships. You have been on Spelljammer ships that have large cargo holds underneath and different gravity from the plating above. This shouldn't. This should feel familiar in many aspects, and yet there is, in the hind part of your brain, almost like when you're visiting the other kobolds, just something itching, like it's both familiar but wrong.
Can Kitlac get any sense of what that wrongness would be?
What was your total again?
19.
19. Roll me history, arcana, or anything you can argue that would relate to your knowledge of spelljammers or your own nature, for that matter, I guess.
Kitlac is going to go with arcana. With guidance too, I should have said. That is 12. That is a 16.
Whatever this feeling is, it is not something from your experiences on spelljammers. This feels more innate, more, I don't want to say primal because there is nothing about a spelljammer that is technically primal, but it is something within you that says it's familiar and wrong. But you can't dig it out. Not yet. But there's something about this ship.
Interesting.
Shay, you wanted to go to the pilot's deck and test your spelljammer. Helm.
Yes.
All right, you do so. You place the spelljammer helm on, and
Oh, hang on. Before that
Oh.
happens,
okay.
just a little bit of housekeeping first. Genevieve, do you have any healing left? I'm kind of my aid spell ends. It's gonna put me out if I don't get a little bit more healing. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh, I'm feeling great. That was awesome. Thank you. And then she is going to cast Enhance Ability on herself. For intelligence, I suppose.
Hey, John, I'm going to give you another link to paste into something.
Okay.
There's the link. I guess it just loaded the whole thing. You could just, I don't know, copy link, right click on it, go to copy link. then there we go.
Did not want to import that for some reason.
Oh, it needs the .png at the end of it. Could you type the .png afterwards? Cool beans. Maybe we can blow this up a little bit and we can have it proper size. The toggles, grid projection. Oh, come on now, lock.
What kind of ship did you say this was again?
Flying fish.
According to Shay, it's a flying fish ship.
I love how it's always according to Shay because, you know, Shay could have got it wrong.
Shay, wrong? Never.
I was trying to find a higher resolution version of that image, but no luck.
There
tried,
is no
sorry.
higher res.
Yeah.
Believe me, I looked.
I also looked.
Which means you might know the truth about this ship, so shh.
Oh, I didn't look that closely, trust me.
I don't know the truth. I'll tell you that much.
You can't handle the. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, Shay, have you put on the helmet or? Sorry, what are you doing?
So the big moment for Shay. She is going to kind of sigh, kind of in an at last kind of a thing, and also in an apprehensive way because it's been a long time since she's integrated with the ship. And yeah, after casting enhance ability, she is going to put the helmet on.
All right. You put on the helmet, and it takes a minute. It's been a while. You get a little head dizzy. You feel the repairs the drow did. You feel that it's wrong, but you know that the auto repair system. Okay, you feel it's still in the ship, but it is currently not active. They'll have to look at that later. But they could probably fix that feeling. You can immediately fix the lights if you'd like. That's easy enough. And
Yeah, she's not worried about the lights. She's just worried about to see what shape the ship is in, and if it's if she can fly it out of here, and sensors and that kind of. Does this thing have sensors?
oh yeah, the ship is whole. You can feel the engines are up and running, and you can see the outside. You vaguely recall that there you require a Spelljammer helmet, or at least a helmet attuned to the ship, in order to see when you're on the captain's deck. So you can see, and you can just physically turn yourself to maneuver to see where you're looking. So if you just turn and face the wall, you could see where to back out. Well, you don't have to. Well, let's see. How would they have parked the ship? They would have parked the ship so that you could just fly it straight out. So yeah, you can just fly it straight out if you want. There is no anchor. You feel a small bit of an energy, um, sort of an energy tug, just a little bit of extra gravity keeping the ship in place. If you kick up the engines and hoist sail, so to speak, uh, you'll be able to break it easily.
Well, she's not going to move anytime soon. Well, it depends. She's not going to move until she informs the crew, essentially.
Got another thing I need you to copy paste, John.
What can she hear just perfectly fine with the helmet on? Was it muffled or anything like that? Can she communicate with her? True.
.png, right? Or is it? Sorry.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You did great. Let's see, so that should be.
Yeah, your hearing is not impaired. In fact, you can hear throughout the ship. You know if you say a room, or if you say all decks, your voice will be heard throughout, and you can hear in reply. There is no like channel or intercom that people have to touch. They just need to call your name, or if you're calling for a response, you will register that response. You know the helmet is designed to filter it, but if you have like a full ship of like refugees or something, that could start to become a problem. But you can prioritize crew and stuff like that. Should I try again, Tyler?
Oh no, it's fine. It should be working. Is it not visible to you?
No.
It just disappeared. Like I was dinking around with it and then it just utterly disappeared. Did you delete it?
Oh, no, I just closed the window.
Interesting. Okay, let's try this one more time. Yeah, try it one more time. Make sure it's PNG and all that.
Unable
And
to
then
complete SSL connection.
weird. Well, it's showing me the thing.
Can everyone else see it, or just a white block?
This right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Huh.
How about
I'm
I
only
do
getting a
like
white block.
this?
Go figure.
I cloned it. Does that give you anything?
Another option to import. Yeah,
Uh, did you click import on it?
I did. It's still .png at the end.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. So you are reattuned. The ship is in functional order. It appears that some of the experimental systems, like uh, uh, that restorative system, is offline currently. You'll have to examine it yourself to find out why. But the hull is fully intact. You are not detecting any sort of bomb or anything like that. Although a drow would know how to hide that, but and you are counting 5 life signs and 1 animal life sign.
5.
The chinchilla. Wait, 5, 1, 2, 3,
Oh, sorry,
4.
4, and
Yeah.
then the chinchilla. Sorry.
Wait, does Cassie give off
Does she
life
have?
signs?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
There we
Is
go.
that
That
working?
worked.
Sweet.
Yep.
I mean,
Cassie does give off life signs. In fact, Cassie and Kitlak are already recognized as part of the crew, which is kind of weird. That has not happened to Genevieve, and you and your family had to be formally, registered through the system somehow. But for some reason, it immediately has logged Kitlak and Cassie.
Can she tell if they have upgraded anything?
They have not. It is, if anything, because there are parts that don't seem to be currently functional. Um, yeah, familiars don't get life signs. Sorry. Um, um, because there are some systems that are the experimental systems are currently non-functional. You could argue it was slightly a bit of a downgrade, but again, do you really want to argue with the drow about it?
No, she just wanted to know, I guess. she just wants information right now. She's not going to go back to the drow and say, "Why'd you do this?"
Speaking of Cassie, what are you doing during all this?
Oh, as I said before, Cassie was just exploring the ship, getting to know it. She is currently going down the corridor down here.
Roll me your insight.
And meanwhile, Cinder's off exploring on her own. That is a 12.
There is something vaguely familiar about this. Not in a I've been on this ship before, but in a there's something in me that recognizes this, although you don't know what that is. Perhaps a corrupted memory file. You should probably get it checked out back at home.
She's well aware of her corrupted memory files. Nothing new.
And Genevieve, are you just hanging out with Shay? From your position, you can see there are doors every direction. Forward, left, right, a little behind you, a little to the left.
One step at a time. And she's going to turn on the communications to the whole ship, and just to let everyone know, I'm gonna fire up the engines just to make sure that they're working properly. She will start the engines. Does it have engines per se?
It's not
Engine?
engines per se, it's more like arcane energy. Um, but you also register the sails are not unfurling automatically, which means someone needs to go up there and do it. That was one of the upgrades you recalled hearing them talk about. They weren't teaching you how to use those. They wanted you to learn how to do it the proper way before letting you, work with that system. But you knew it was available. Also, Kitlak. On another note, you realize you could have easily fit Crabcar in the cargo hold.
Well.
You can also fit a motorcycle in here. Quite a few.
One thing at a time, Kit like tells himself. Also, is it cool that I'm like decorating this to
Yeah,
make it a
no,
little bit?
that's fine. That's fine. Let's hope the ship
Okay.
doesn't blow up soon. I figured you'd have fun with it.
Yeah.
So you need to get someone up there to deal with the sails.
If but she only wants to just get it kind of started. She doesn't actually want to move the ship yet. So, are the sails just for moving it? Can she just leave it down now, for now?
Yeah, you can just
and
the
just-
arcane energy is flowing correctly. You know that
Okay.
if you can get everything positioned correctly, you will be able to just slide out and start flying.
Okay. Are there any drow changes? Like, it doesn't seem like they tried to make it
All the
fit
changes have
drow.
been cosmetic so far.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure they would have lifted the ceiling if they really wanted it to make a fully drow ship, since drow tend to start above 5 feet, and anyone over 5 feet is going to struggle a bit here.
Can she feel like a feeling of familiarity when she's connected to the ship?
Oh yeah,
Or is
no,
there-
this is home.
Okay.
This is home. All that's missing is Ma and Pa right next to you.
Yeah, that might be the next-
Question.
Shoot.
So I'm seeing that there is a whole ass like cargo deck that's underneath the main deck. Is that accurate? That we just
That
don't
is-
have a map of?
There's no map of it, but also, while there is an entire cargo deck, that is the hollowed out version of it. Shay can tell you that it wasn't fully hollowed out before the drow had it. Now there are some walls here and there that indicate there might have been rooms carved out, or rather built up, and are now empty. But yes, that is technically all cargo hold. But you can fill it in with other things.
Okay. I was just thinking I could probably generate a map of that too.
Oh, you
easily enough.
absolutely can, but there's, no rush.
Yeah.
It does look a bit like a crow, doesn't it? Just missing the wings.
Does anyone find anything? We ain't found shit.
Inspiration. Brooks will almost always get it if you time it right. It's been about 10 minutes. Genevieve, you hear some soft pitter patter, and then zip, zip, zip. There's a little silver blur, and then it's back up on your shoulder. You don't know where the dust went. You don't know where any of it went, but she still feels clean and soft, and is now content, or as content as can be when Kitlak is on board.
Kitlak is an asset.
Genevieve will just scritch Milady's head.
It's not like their stomachs are feeling full, but she's lying down almost like she's had an enormous meal and is just zonking for a bit.
She give off a little dusty belch.
No, she never dirties anything.
Mm.
They don't even defecate. It's a miracle.
She was asking that to across the ship if they had found anything. They'll just speak up. I'll be able to hear you.
Not as yet, Kitlak's going to yell out.
No, nothing here. Didn't realize we were looking for anything.
Cinder is going to find you, Kitlak.
Oh, good, that thing. Love that for us all. That it gets to be on board and in our quarters and just generally everywhere. Yes, that's what I wanted. Everything I wanted.
Cinder is going to land on the floor.
Oh no, I thought this was the chinchilla. No, Cinder's the robot. Yeah, Kitlak's just gonna like check out the robot and go, all right.
I think Cinder's gonna do the same thing she was gonna do anyways. Just sit on the floor, look up at Kitlak, and chirp.
Yeah, he's gonna be way less judgmental of the robot. Kitlak is going to give it a tentative pat on the head. Good, whatever you are. You're an asset to our cause.
It chirps again and kind of leans into the touch.
All right. Well, Kitlak's knows he's doing something right, so he's going to keep doing it for a little bit.
At that point, I think Cassie is going to switch to Cinder's point of view for a moment and just be like,
Okay, well, that's a thing.
Oh my god, but you just made it weird. It's an animal and then it's you. Yeah. He's gonna pull his hand back.
So Kitlak probably didn't hear that because she can't speak through it.
Okay. Yeah, okay, then he didn't hear that, as it turns out. He's just gonna keep on petting the thing.
That's literally what Genevieve does all the time.
Yeah, very quickly Cassie goes back to her regular viewpoint. That was enough of that.
In fact, I think Shay would say that. I'm sure Shay heard that. Maybe she's the only one that heard that, and she'll just say to in Kitlak's area, just don't say that around Genevieve.
Genevieve is right behind you and can hear you say that.
Oh, that's
Say what around me?
Kitlak was being Kitlak. Yeah, he didn't mean it. He was just being slightly rude. Is there a wardroom?
For as in just a place to sit down. Well, right behind is the mess.
Like yeah, I guess they could use. I mean, they could use pretty much anything. But would there be anything like a conference room which you would go to, like
So typically on
leadership would go to
smaller,
confer?
typically on smaller naval ships, the mess is dual purpose as a wardroom.
Yep. There's a reason it's right behind the bridge.
Okay, well, everything looks ship shape from my end. Why don't we meet up in the mess hall and we can discuss where we're going from here and what we want to do with the ship.
Shay, give me a quick perception check.
Hmm. 17.
The Warforged that was out front is looking back, very annoyed that you're still in the hangar.
Maybe we should get out of here before we start having meetings, maybe, huh?
I'll leave it up to you.
She's going to check that the drow didn't invert the flight controls.
Nope, they had no access to the flight controls because that's all through the Spelljammer held.
Okay. Hold on to your butts. Is the crew can walk around while the ship is moving?
Oh,
correct?
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's like any sailing ship, basically. It's just in space. Sorry,
Not
in
quite
space!
yet. Yes. Not quite yet,
No
but
one can hear you scream.
She will undock.
You still can't move. The sails haven't been deployed.
Oh, that's right. Genevieve, I think we're gonna need to manually open the sails. We'd never got the automated system up before.
Oh, it was
the
up
drow.
before, but like the repair system, it's experimental and currently down.
Oh, it's just down. It's not missing. I thought the repair system was...
Oh no, I mean they promised to return it to you intact and repaired. They didn't guarantee that everything would be fully functional. That was experimental. How would they know how to do anything experimental?
Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll go up and do what I can.
Is it obvious, or does Shay need to go help with this?
Their sails like a sailing ship, so if anyone has handled a boat before or been on a Spelljammer before, they can handle this.
Have you been on a boat? A water ship?
I grew up in a forest.
I know how to handle it. Kitlak's going to yell out, and he's going to go up on deck.
Yeah, the Sulatar kind of want us to leave, so
Does that work with collision and all that?
Would you
Yeah,
say this is
pretty
just
much.
a intelligence check? Survival check?
go meet up
What
with
would-
Kitlak, and
Figuring
he'll
out
help.
ropes?
Go help him. Go help him with
Kitlak's gonna come up there, and I think Kitlak, like, not to make up too much competence here, but like raising the sails is one of the things that they'd want him to know how to do. Like I feel, especially if he's just like being essentially grunt labor like he was when he was a child, you know. Not that a child can effectively raise the sails of a large boat, but they want him to know how to do it so that when he gets big enough, he can contribute.
Yeah, I believe it's typically either survival or navigator's tools, one of the two.
I would imagine it'd be some sort of like proficiency vehicles too, if you have it.
Yeah, that would work as well.
Who are you talking to?
Anyone and everyone who wants to know they can figure out the sails.
Genevieve's looking at the ropes like they're vines, okay?
Oops! How did I park another
Yes.
sail on top of that
I did
sail?
not mean to
There
roll
you go.
2 dice there.
Guy basically just came up to watch so she can learn how to if needed.
So that's 18 survival.
Did you say Sky? I think you said Sky.
Yes, I did. I meant Cassie.
Sorry,
sorry,
for a second there.
I play 3 games a week. It gets a
Two
little
of which are on
confusing up here.
ships now.
Exactly.
So Genevieve probably got up there before Kitlag did, and she's just
I would
she's
assume,
just
yeah.
looking up at the ropes like they're vines or something, and she rolled an 18 on survival.
Okay, with an 18 on survival, you can figure out how to get the vines to unfold the artificial leaf. Do you want to tackle the front one or the back one?
The front one, because it's right here.
Kitlak will give you the help action on it because you seem to be, when he gets up, like I think he sees you already like wrist deep in it, so he's just gonna help you out.
All right, so roll a second dice. Let's see what that is.
Natural.
Damn, dude.
Not only do you figure out the first sail, you treat it like a vine. As you let one of the last rope go, you ride it up, swing, jump to the other one, and get that one to deploy as you come back down. You have no idea how you did that, but you did it.
I really thought that was going to be harder than it was.
And with that, the arcane energies can now go properly through the sails to head on, artificially move the ship without any sort of solar energy. So yes, you can now leave dock.
I assume that there's like a checklist or something for pre-docking or undocking. She'll go through that step by step just to make sure that everything is in order, because that's the safe way to do a spelljammer, to drive a spelljammer. So she'll do that first, and then if everything's in order, she is going to announce, okay, second try, undocking. She will undock the ship.
Right? It's literally a straight shot. So roll me navigators, your navigation or vehicle proficiency, your choice. It's been a while, so I'm going to say straight instead of with advantage right now.
With enhanced ability up, does that give her advantage?
That would give you advantage.
Okay. Not the time for double nat ones. So 15 plus int plus proficiency. That would be 19.
Yeah, you can fly straight out. You are in the airspace of Sulatar Tower. Technically still Drow airspace. They have guaranteed you safe passage out of their airspace, but you also do not want to test their patience on that since they were just attacked. Where would you like to go?
There are our options.
Well, if you head over to the Citadel of Promise, you're likely to be shot down. You could head
That
towards the
sounds fun.
Fallen's Forge. That's always an adventure. The Jagged Mesa is the home of many hulls that have failed to turn at the wrong time, or the right time for that matter. Or you could go around the mesa, head for the Ledgestone. You could return to the Roaring Hollow, where you did say you would be coming back to, with some way to speak Celestial. I think everyone forgot that.
Yeah, you
You
know.
can also fly across the asteroid. You're pretty sure you do not want to go past Solfataralan, or you might not even want to enter into that. As you hit Oral's Rest, the heat will likely melt your hull or set it on fire. One or two. Rivas Hold is dangerous. That was where the attack just came from. Senzerathod, that is by invite only. You can always return to the Crimson Plateau. With the Spelljammer, that's just a day and a half trip.
Yeah, I think so she's gonna say over the speaker, I think I'm just going to head back to the Crimson Plateau. And we can that's a plenty of time to decide if we want to go somewhere else, but we should get going away from here. So she will start heading towards the Crimson Plateau.
Okay.
Yes, they do seem rather insistent we leave.
Can't imagine why, Gitlek says.
Do we need the kids back under?
Quite true.
You feel the wind in your hair as the ship sets sail, so to speak. It is moving faster than any seafaring ship should, but it still feels like it's just you're on the high sea, moving very quickly. The air pocket keeps things nice and stable for you.
So how would Shay kind of go about, is it like an autopilot, or can she just keep the helmet on and go and like have a talk with the rest of her crew?
Your parents tended to not let you pilot for more than 4 hours, and then someone would step in and take over. There were at least 2 helmets at one point. One of those was destroyed. It was killed by, well, it was when the crew member died, sucked into space, whatever. So you would need a second Spelljammer. There was an autopilot. Again, you were a child. They were teaching you. They did not teach you that until you were ready.
Well, we do have a second helmet.
Yes, it's just broken right now.
Oh, I thought we fixed it.
Nope. I don't believe so. That's one reason additional tools were needed, as I recall, correct? Cassie, was that right?
But Cassie made the additional tools, didn't she?
Did you fix the Spelljammer?
No, I don't think that it was fixed. I think Cassie was examining it and she needed smithing tools, which Shay had purchased for her.
But
I mean,
can she
I'd fix it now.
also pilot the ship and like go talk to, or is she like stuck there at the helm?
You can walk around, but again, you are sharing senses with the ship. If you get distracted, you could veer the. Think of it as driving a car. You can absolutely watch a movie, talk on the phone, talk with your friend, turn around and play with the child, but there may be a consequence.
Luckily, it's very hard to hit other things in space. There's a lot of space out there.
True, but you are not in space. You are in airspace of an asteroid, which has a lot of trade going on.
And just
And has both airships and spelljammers in the air.
For my knowledge, what needs to happen if we were to go into space like right now?
If you wanted to go into space right now, you could. It would take you about the same amount of time if you just went straight up vertically or towards the edge of the asteroid. It is
There's
said
like
that
a shield or like some sort of bubble that protects
there's the air
crew
bubble.
from
The air bubble
space.
doesn't like trap you or anything.
Okay.
The air bubble, in fact, as long as you're within it, of the greater asteroid, keeps your air bubble on the Spelljammer fresh. There is a limited amount of time that you can be in space before your air becomes dangerous and poisoned because of all the carbon dioxide you guys exude. Thanks to air bubble, that can be extended. Genevieve, well done. And Cassie, of course, only pollutes minorly. So that also extends it.
How did her family extend it before?
Rude. Very rude.
Your
Talking
family-
about Cassie's pollution.
Your family visited different planets. Whenever you enter a new air envelope, your air is automatically refreshed. There was a set amount of time, and they tended to follow it. You don't know if they had a system for auto refresh. There were a lot of experimental systems on this ship. You were not given all of them. You were both too young, but also not ready to necessarily have control of that. You don't want to give a child who might have a tantrum control over the flow of oxygen.
Makes a lot of sense.
Like the attack happened when you were pre-teen, so it's been pre-teen, because you're only what, 19, 20 now? If
Oh,
that-
she's early 20s, I want to say. 23
it's
is what I
been-
have her at.
23? Okay. So it's been over 5 years. You were a teenager. You still don't want to explain all of the experimental systems that a teenager who might throw a tantrum, just because you were well behaved most of the time, it's safer not to do that. But again, these were also experimental. They were still perfecting things. Some of them might have been set for the Spelljammer helmets. Some of them might not have. In sort of easier terms, you had the child helmet. In theory, you can unlock everything that your parents had access to with the other helmet, but it's going to take you time. You're going to
Okay.
have to investigate. There is a mystery about the ship, in case the list on the left did not tell you that. There's a few of them.
I think Shay is just going to revel in just flying a ship again for probably about an hour, and just kind of do that for a bit and enjoy herself.
So, Kitlak, did you figure out where everything was?
More or less, Kitlak says, kind of dusting himself off as he just watches the sails furl, or just blow with the solar wind. It's good to be offshore again. Yeah, Genevieve, remind me, were you ever on a Spelljammer?
Well, obviously, I had to get to this asteroid, didn't I?
Well, conceivably you could have been born on it, but that seems tragic.
Also unlikely, I grew up in a forest. There's no forest around here except Mistmore.
That is fair.
Oh, there is a seat in the helm and bridge. You know that the helm and the seat, the captain's seat, basically do kind of interface, so it takes some of the strain off you, in terms of how much energy you deplete. So if you're sitting down, you can fly for longer. Your parents could go 8 hours. That sort of thing. If you're standing, after a certain amount of time, it does take energy to keep things moving, so to speak.
Yeah, she'd sit down.
But that was only on one Spelljammer, and I didn't really explore it too much.
Fascinating interruptions. I recommend, now that you have the chance to do so with this one. It's not the largest ship, but it is a good, honest ship.
I know this is going to sound weird, but I kind of like the way the floor sounds.
Satisfying, isn't it? Like, primally so. I agree. Kitlak is going to tap with his foot on the floor. Yes.
It just sounds different from the forest is all. We didn't have metal and concrete. We mostly just had rocks and trees and dirt.
Preferable or no?
Just different.
Fair.
As you step on it, it sounds a bit like ironwood of anything, if of everything that you've heard, Genevieve. Not proper ironwood, but a good equivalent. Hint of metal surrounded by wood.
One thing that I've liked, I guess, is stepping on different surfaces. Like that one in the cave that we went to. That was a different feeling as well.
The light up ground. Yes, that was fascinating. I wish we could have had longer to explore that without,
A time crunch.
something crunch, yes. If not time, then certainly our bones.
Well, why don't you show me around? I'd rather not get lost.
Oh, well, insofar as I know about how to show you around here, I will, yes. And Kitlak is going to take her on a tour, grand or not. Just to show her every bit, like, here's the hold, yes, here's the washrooms, here's the crew quarters, there should be a catapult, 2 ballistae. We saw the ballistae, of course, but the catapult, you got to take a ladder to get up to. Ladder goes down to the cargo hold. It's kind of an all-purpose ladder. Just kind of rattling it off. He hasn't played tour guide for a Spelljammer in probably decades at this point.
Just as a reminder, 9 is the galley where food is prepared. 8 is the mess, basically a big table. Also doubles as a command room or war room or whatever you want to sit around the table and chat. 10 is the pantry. 13, 14 is weapons and storage. Where Shay is the helm and bridge.
I assume the
6.
pantry is empty, correct?
Surprisingly not. As you open the door to the pantry, they do seem to have just some dried food there. From the looks of it, it is about 20 days worth of rations and the same amount of water. It looks like you're not sure if that was there before when the ship was damaged, or if they placed it in there just as a courtesy, or something else. Who knows?
Is this dried food is in like regular rations, or dried food is in we're stocking up for nuclear winter?
You examine one. It looks like standard rations, but as you roll me investigation, unless you want to taste it directly.
They're green and eggs and ham. Dried.
Investigation.
Given what green
Nope,
eggs and
she
ham
doesn't know
are,
what it is.
Woof.
You know, these look like normal rations. You can absolutely just take a bite now if you're a little hungry.
Grip it and sip it.
She just might. I mean, she grew up in a forest.
Yeah, there is a bit of a berry smell. You don't recognize the berry type, but it's a berry smell.
She'll take a nibble.
Would you say it's berry familiar?
Not unless she's very familiar with slightly poisonous berries. This is absolutely drow food. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make me a quick Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no.
We gotta have to go to the hospital planet or something here, because
So
Looking
I'm not
like
going to
that.
roll for it. I'm just going to say you're taking the max damage of 4 poison damage from that.
Oh,
Neat.
no.
That is definitely drow food right there.
She's gonna make a face.
Did you just eat that?
I don't-
Kilak's going to say,
I
gonna
don't
poke it around the
recommend-
corner.
I don't recommend it.
It was
Yeah,
also
no.
from that taste. I'm also going to say, yeah, these were like right on the edge of being bad. Not bad yet, but like give it a week. You would not
I
want to
really
eat this.
didn't think I had to say don't eat random food that you find in the galley, but here we are saying it.
Oh, I used to try random food in the forest all the time.
Notably, this is a drow ship, not a forest.
Still could kill you.
You know, yes, you are correct. Both of those scenarios could end in your death.
You don't know if something will kill you unless you try it. Unless it's already killed someone else.
Mm. Kitlag's just kind of flummoxed and like, I don't know what to say to that.
This has to be a trait for Genevieve now. She just eats everything.
The world is her buffet.
When you get to the crew
Odd thing.
quarters. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Malkiel.
Oh, I was just gonna say the odd thing is this is usually a kobold trait.
She learned it from watching
Eating
you.
whatever.
Okay. No. When you get to the crew quarters, they're like for you, they're kind of familiar. When you had other kobolds or small creatures, this was kind of their crew quarters. They're stacked up so that someone would sleep near the ceiling, someone would sleep on the floor. And what's nice is there's 2 skylights letting in the light, the radiant light, which with the newly painted dark walls actually kind of makes a nice little bright by the entrances, dark by the beds. Although you also note that the biggest part of your quarters are also where the ram is.
Wait, this ship has RAM?
Yeah, the whole front of it. Yeah, random access memory.
Where's the
It's,
hard drive?
No, it's actually the Daft Punk album. It's just kind of stuck in the CD changer.
So yes, you get. How long did you want to fly, Shay?
I don't know. She might fly until someone comes and finds her.
All right. I was gonna say because if you only do it for about an hour, that would get you near the Jagged Mesa, or at least parallel to it. And there are stories about the Jagged Mesa. I'm going to
hang on. Let me look at the map. The Jagged Mesa is Whamp.
We should go to the Ledgestone. Genevieve doesn't say that. Genevieve is busy testing rations.
We get down there, they're all opened. There's just a bit out of all of them.
Genevieve is exactly the type of person who would have a stream eating expired food.
She just needs a long rest, that's all.
I just need to lay down after eating all this poison. Just take a quick nap. No one call 911.
I mean, yes, that, but also now that she knows it's poisoned, she can purify food.
I'd like everyone to. What are you doing, by the way, Cassie?
Cassie's just back to exploring the ship.
Roll me and investigate.
She doesn't find anything.
Guys,
That's 3 nat 1s in a row, by the
I
way.
think we just lost the campaign.
Guess what? Jagged Mesa will now fly, and rocks will fall on the flying ship. Anyways, no. You end up going to the cargo hold. You go down the ladder. You go to the other side. You explore underneath where the crew quarters are, and then you get lost. You don't know how to get back to where to get back to the other side of the ship. You'll find it eventually. There's only like 3 walls. You can find it.
Remember Shay's trick for not getting lost in places.
So I'd like everyone to make me just a wisdom check.
Check her
A
saving throw.
check.
No, just a check, except for Shay.
Okay.
Can I
Ah,
use
finally.
guidance?
Not on this one.
17.
Nah, bummer. Hot 11.
And what did you say this was? Never mind.
Just a wisdom check, not a save throw.
Yeah, like I said, never mind. That's a 3.
Okay, in that case, Kitlak, you've watched Genevieve eat poison food stream for a while.
It's
Genevieve, you
oddly
realize
fascinating.
you haven't heard anything from Shay in 5 hours.
Do you think we should go check on Shay?
Oh, yes, I suppose. I'm sorry. I'm lost in the sauce here, as they say. It's endlessly entertaining watching you poison yourself.
Look, you never know what'll go with what if you don't try it out first.
Well, you do have a point. We perhaps should check on Shay. You are correct in that. Oh God.
That's fun.
It's like I'm playing The Sims.
You'll have to lead the way, though. I'm still not completely certain of my way around here.
Where to put Kilak? Kilak is gonna like throw one of your arms over his shoulder and just kind of like lug you around. He's whether or not Genevieve needs it, he just is kind of gonna assume that Genevieve does need it on account of everything, the poison. And is gonna drag you upstairs, or not? Where is Shay? Shay's right over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna drag you over to where Shay is. Yerp.
All the food will be fine tomorrow.
What worries me is whether or not you will be.
You also realize you haven't seen Cassie in a while either, but she's probably around, right?
Yes, I'm less worried about that one.
Shay is sitting in the pilot chair, looking content. Almost zen.
This is what you wanted. Wonder what it must feel like to get what you want after so long.
I'm sure you'll find out
Hint,
too.
hint.
Shay, how are you doing?
Could you hear that?
Oh yeah, no, you can hear everything. You're just focused on flying. But yeah, you can absolutely hear them. They're right next to you. You heard them all talking throughout the ship if you wanted to.
Yeah, it was kind of. She pushed it back into as noise, kind of a thing. Oh, I'm fine. Um, she's gonna check. I mean, she's been flying and making sure she's not running into anything, but she's gonna check to see where they are en route.
You can see on the map where you are en route. It's been 5 hours. You're right over the A in Barrens of the Obsidian Barrens.
Oh,
You're
that
past
it
the
was
Jagged
blending in a
Mesa.
little bit. I see it now.
I turned it the same color as the drow, but I can fix that.
The Goblin Blade? How dare.
Ooh, no, no. Let's see.
Well, it's black right now, isn't it?
How's that?
Sure, I can
It
definitely
works.
see that.
Yeah, it's the ship design wasn't one of the 4 models Tyler offered, so that's about the right size of what you've got, I think. What's a Goblin Blade size look like?
We just passed the
Okay,
jagged.
no, actually, that's way too small. But it's the correct size for the map, so
Mhm. We just passed the jagged mesa. I'm probably gonna need a break in a bit.
Were we
Could
not
could the Sorry, go ahead.
were we not going to stop somewhere so we could discuss our next steps?
Can they just stop?
yeah, you can absolutely slow down to a stop.
And just hover where they are?
You're a spelljammer, yeah.
Okay. I literally don't know anything. I, the player, don't know anything about spelljammers.
Fair enough. We'll work on that. Basically, yes. Consider this. You don't have to weigh anchor. It helps because you can still be affected by solar winds and such. And you do know there are storms on the asteroid occasionally that it's possible you'll get caught up in. But you should be high enough. I'm assuming you haven't really lowered yourself from the level of the tower that you departed.
Oh no, it's safer to be up high anyway.
Yeah. You might have a few raiders that might notice you, but other than that, um, yeah, you can just kind of float there for a bit. You know you shouldn't stay in one space for too long on a place like this, but yeah, you can absolutely just you don't have to weigh anchor or anything. You are all set if you want to just say keep anti-gravity up, we're staying afloat.
Yeah, she will do that. Um, yes, we should talk. Definitely. That was, man, I've been looking forward to that for a long time.
I'm sure you have. We have some rations, but I'll need to sleep so that way I can get rid of the poison that's on him.
Oh, good. Um, I'm hungry. Am I hungry? I think I'm hungry.
And I'd not recommend anybody else other than myself testing him, unless you've got some resistances to poison.
She does. Yes, she does. Yeah, I'm used to scavenging a bit. You just gotta know, pick off the moldy bits. It's fine.
You see, Kitluck, poison's not that bad. But don't worry, I'll get rid of the poison for you, and if Cassie wants anything, though I'm not sure she'd be affected by the poison either.
Oh, where's Cassie? I think we're gonna need that other Spelljammer helmet.
You know where Cassie is. She is in the cargo bay. You asked for a crew member. Genevieve still isn't registered, but Cassie and, like I said, Cassie and Kitlak absolutely are. You know where Cassie is with just the thought of where is Cassie.
Can she figure out why they're already crew members?
Roll me your insight with disadvantage.
Oh, it's not like a check the system kind of a thing.
The system isn't telling you, which it should in theory.
Okay. With what?
Insight.
Did you say advantage or disadvantage or straight?
Disadvantage.
Okay.
Because this is new to you. You've never encountered this before. And again, there are parts of the system just locked down from you.
So many net ones tonight.
Yeah, surprising. You're not sure. It's a mystery. You'll have to solve that at a later date.
Turns out Genevieve's special. Well, I guess it. Never mind. Cassie. Cassie,
Yes, I'm here.
could you meet us at the bridge?
I'll try.
Are you done exercising?
Was just doing a little bit of exploring. Wasn't quite prepared for the change in gravity down here.
Does Shay have the ability to like illuminate a path for her to get to the bridge, or can she just tell her?
You can just tell her.
Okay. If you need a little help getting there, turn left. Turn left. Go straight. I'm actually just winging. I'm not actually looking at what Cassie is.
For Cassie, it's mostly go straight and then go up the ladder.
And then go up the ladder. We're all there.
Yes, quite. Thank you.
What does it take to register
I'm
someone?
just gonna have to adjust my internal gyros a bit there.
What does it take to register someone? Well, you're already registered. Cassie and Kitlak are registered. To register Genevieve, while you're wearing the Spelljammer helmet, you just have to hold her hand for about a minute and, acknowledge you recognize her. She's an ally. She's a part of the ship. And that's about it.
Genevieve, I'd
There'll
like
be
to
some
register.
other things that need to be filled in, but that can be filled in later.
You should probably be registered with the ship. It'll give you access to. What does it give her? The ship just recognizes her and gives her access to stuff.
Yeah, you'll be able to detect where she is in the ship while you're captain, that sort of thing. You can speak to her through the room that she's in. Yeah, and like Cassie and Kidlak, you'll just, where are they? And you'll know.
Yeah, it gives you access to certain places of the ship, and so that the ship can sense you.
So what's that entail?
Just holding my hand for a bit, so that the ship can connect through me to you.
It's a bit of a weird system, but she'll hold her hand out.
She will take her hand and start that process.
And you know that there's actually a couple hours worth of the effectively digital paperwork but you can do that. You know most of it. She is a gnome. She's a druid. She has magic and a few other things. Here are the skills you've observed. Here are allergies, that stuff. But to actually just register her, and then the rest just takes time on and effort on your part, basically.
Okay. That'll get the ball rolling anyway. So, I mean, I had a plan, obviously, because but when it was just me, um, we could head back to the Crimson Plateau. We could find my is my I'm sorry, is my father able to be a crew member at this point? He wasn't like injured.
I mean, he could be, if you can ask him if he's interested.
Yeah, but he wasn't like injured to the point where he couldn't, kind of a thing. Right?
No,
In the
he's
tech. Okay.
he's working. He is a botanist by trade that has had to become a farmer by necessity.
And are there other Kender like in the area that
Yes, although
from the
most of your
ship?
crew has either found other jobs or left on other ships.
Okay. Yeah, I can go back and my dad was a crew member on this ship before. He definitely knows it, and there's other Kender crew members that I could probably find there that are also know the ship back when for. I mean, it was their home for a long time, so they know it pretty well. And my mother, obviously, she was the navigator before. Well, I was just in training.
I don't mean to be a downer on that suggestion, but I mean, Kitluck wanted to get a little bit of vengeance for his folk. Are they gonna take kindly to that? I mean, are they going if you invite your dad and your mom and your people back on board, are they gonna take issue with the fact that we might be doing some perhaps less than legal stuff?
That's a fair question, and I think my father would be okay with it. Um, Mostly because I'm here and he hates his job. Um, and my mother, what could I say about her mother? She might have her own agenda that, you know, if she's fine with ours, then we could help her with hers. Um, it's probably the crew life is probably a bit new to them, but I think they could handle it. And I mean, as you see, this is a ship built for short people, so our options are a bit limited if we're just going out looking for crew. We could hire a Kobold Guild. What are they called? Kidlack? Warren? I'm not sure. I mean, they could probably communicate pretty well with each other, right? But we only need
Couple of
what,
family unit is
seven to 5, 6, 7 more people? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. No.
If you ping the system, you know you need 8 people to fully function the ship. 1 spelljammer, which you count as, and 7 crew member to handle everything else. That
Yes,
includes
a couple of
weapons,
family unit is a warrant.
cook, engineer, etc.
So we don't need that many more. I mean, my dad and my mom, if those two are inclined to join us, that's 6 right there. Do you have anyone specific that you might want to bring on? I don't think anyone that I've crewed with before I would want to bring on. That's just none of that stuff worked out.
Not me personally. I just want to make sure that, we can all meet our goals, including Kitlak.
Well, I think the first thing to make clear to them is that it is our ship. It's not their ship anymore. Whose ship was it? I forgot. I probably have it written down.
It technically was your parents' ship, but they were part of a research group. So everyone was invested in the ship. They let your parents sort of take command since they had the Spelljammer. They were the primary Spelljammer, I should say.
How does Kitlak feel that Suka would feel about joining the ship?
Joining the ship as a potential fence. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say this. Everyone, roll me your history or insight to see if you know someone who would work.
Genevieve definitely would not know anyone. She's
Oh,
relatively
but you're still
new.
going to roll it.
That is a 17 history for Cassie.
It's just a 10 insight.
You said history?
Or insight, your choice.
That's 17 history for Kitlak.
I would say insight, probably.
What RC did you roll? Sorry.
Yeah, I got a non-nat 20 for insight, because I don't feel like history would play into this.
Okay, give me 1 second real quick. Sorry, fog. So let's start with Kitlak, or not Kitlak, with Shay. Shay, your mother probably actually won't be interested in joining the crew. She's part of a new research group trying to figure out the logic of the asteroid. You barely hear from her because she is so deep into this. She loves it. When you do speak with her or get a letter, you can hear she is beyond thrilled to be investigating this mystery. She doesn't need to leave the asteroid again.
Okay. The complete opposite of her dad.
Her dad, yes, your dad, he would be willing to join the crew except for one thing. He wants there to be a home for his wife, or when she does need a break, or eventually come back. So you're going to have to. It's up in the air on whether he would join you or not. Cassie. Shiafupol would probably join. You can find him. He's escaped Rivis Hold. He'd be available at Arc Constructs. Your boss would undoubtedly have some recommendations that you could request. You would just have to maybe contract the ship with Arc Constructs, or get a contract with Arc Constructs. Get some crew members. Not a bad thing. Something to think about.
No, Cassie definitely will not do that.
Genevieve. You know who would be great on the ship? Lil Penny. Why, that pixie would just love to go out and see space. And maybe eat a few new people.
Genevieve considers
You heard what I
it.
said. You also know there are some short species at Mistmar, including pixies and herringon, that might fit in well. You'd have to probably talk to old Becky to see who might be interested. And then, Kitlak.
Mm-hmm.
Suka the Penny would absolutely love to join if it was in relation to their current job. They want to get off the asteroid, but at the same time, they have a very specific set of skills and aren't very what's the term I'm looking for? Versatile in terms of what they can do. Uh, Now, having a fence on board is not necessarily a bad thing, but it might not be exactly what you're looking for. Um, but you do know a few other people, and just because all of you did get above a 10, I will point out that Mr. Normandy would absolutely be interested, if not joining the crew, investigating the ship and probably providing you with some crew to help study it. It was an experimental vessel, after all. That's the old gnome at
Yeah.
just 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 as a reminder. Um, so yeah, you do know a couple people, but on the whole, you'd have to ask around basically and investigate your contacts, and they might be interested, they might not. Depends what you're offering, other than getting them off the asteroid. And on that note, as you guys ponder who you want to contact, because after all, you are very close to where Suka lives. And there is a small Spelljammer tower you could dock at. Um, Figure that out, and we'll see where we go next week.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.